Hey there guys, this time on Thrift Talk, we're actually going to be talking about the best finds in our first 100 sold items. That's right. Thrift Talk didn't exist and didn't come out for probably about 2 months. My first 2 months of doing thrifting and doing eBay sales, I actually didn't post anything. I know, stupid. I wanted to see if it would actually become something, and here we are. A little over 3 months into it. Well, this would be technically our third full month. But by the time y'all see this, we'll probably be like 4 or 5 months into it, depending on the series and when it comes out. Probably be episode 8 or 9, maybe 10, depending. So, but just crazy how this has turned out. We officially have sold our 100th item on our eBay store. So let's just give it a nice little round of applause. I mean, Thrift Talk was an idea I had. I got some inspiration from Gary Vee. He went to yard sales. And out here, I found out that thrifting was a crazy thing that I knew nothing about, and I was like, you know what, let's take the inspiration off of it. So shout out to Gary Vee for doing Trash Talk. I mean, first and foremost, our biggest find ever was a $15 Tom Brady jersey that, if you could see right here or wherever it's popped, sold for $140. So a story behind this one, I walked into Goodwill. I had a gig. I was doing some video and some photo for a comedy show. I don't know what got into me, but I was really, this is like really in the hype of when I was really going ham. Probably just a little bit before Thrift Talk. So my first month and a half before I started recording anything, I was going crazy. I was like, I need to go to thrift stores. I need to go this. I need to go everywhere I can that has discounted stuff. So I had a gig. I was getting paid for the gig, and I was like, I have an extra hour or two. Let's go to different stores. So we ended up going to 3 Goodwills and 1 Walmart. So on our way down to it, we went, and I walked in, found a couple cool things. There wasn't really anything interesting. I almost walked out the store, actually. I found 2 mugs, but there was a line, and I was like, eh. And I was like, you know what, whatever. I'll just get it. So I, get these 2 mugs or 3 mugs, whatever it was. And I get up to the register, and there's a rack behind the register. And I go to the guy, and I'm like, are those for sale? And he said, yeah. And I said, there was 2 jerseys on it. There was a Super Bowl something, the one in Tampa Bay. It was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl jersey. Winfield. But it wasn't like an actual jersey. It was like a sweatshirt jersey. If it was an actual jersey, I would have gotten it. But the sweatshirt jersey, I didn't know enough about it at the time. I would have made just about my money back, maybe a little more, after I looked up the results. But the Tom Brady jersey was also there. And I was like, I'll take that. I saw it. I looked at it. I mean, it was in immaculate condition. There was a little black marker stain, but it was literally a dot on the chest. Other than that, you could have put a brand new tag on this thing, and I bet money people wouldn't have noticed. So I had a couple different offers go back and forth. People just trying to lowball the hell out of me, for this jersey. And then I ended up selling it for $110. I was like, you know what? Cool, I'll sell it. The guy took a week to pay me, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that. So I canceled the order. I don't like that. If you're going to get it, get it. If not, cool, I'm not waiting for anything. So especially on something like that. Regardless, I would have made money on it. But to wait a week, and then literally, when I tell you I put it up, it sold in 2 or 3 days tops after re-putting it back up for the full amount of $140. So that was definitely my best find ever, and I'm still trying to get something better than that. I'll keep you updated. Maybe 200. Maybe the 200th item sold episode of Thrift Talk, we'll have something in there. If we're just gonna go off of pure value, I mean, we have to talk about this $30 to $88 flip. Jey Uso, the WWE Elite Collection SummerSlam 2023. Funny story about these two. So there's not just thrift stores that you can go to, right? You go to Walmart, you can go to all these different places that have clearance or discount sections. And I went to Walmart one day with my wife, and I was like, you know what? This is a super beginning. This was when I maybe had 5 or 10 items, super early. Because this is the one thing I was the most excited about. Look at this. The first one sold on Christmas, and the second one sold the 28th. So technically I haven't started, I didn't make any money until 2024, but I had items up before in 2023, so technically I didn't get paid for 2024. But with that being said, we started this in December, very loosely. Didn't think anything of it. A couple sales, cool. I was learning. But, so I walk into Walmart and I'm like, what is this? And obviously I'm into WWE. I like WWE. I watch WWE. I'm very in and out with it, but like usually like SummerSlam to WrestleMania is when I watch, and then it dies down after WrestleMania. And so obviously I know who Jey Uso is. He's been wrestling for years and years. And I look at it and I said, $15. I said, okay. So I grabbed both of them instinctually. And I looked up the price and I was like, they've sold for that much? And I was like, okay. So we walked over to the dog section and I was like, so one of them had like a piece that was like there, but you had to like fish it out. And I wasn't really trying to do all that extra work. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this one. I hid the other Jey Uso action figure in the pet department. And, dude, I put this up. It sold literally in 24 hours. Like, this, I literally was, we were there. I believe it was Christmas Eve. We were there at Walmart for something. I can't remember what for, but we went and I just checked it out. So when that one sold, I was like, this is it. Like 24 hours, like literally like the next day after Christmas or the day after, whenever they opened, I literally went back and I was like, shit, where's this Jey Uso one? I guess somebody bought it, and then boom, it clicked into my head that I hid it. I literally stashed it behind all these pet items, and I go back to Walmart and I pick it up, and it's there. I go to the pet section, I move some stuff out the way, and it's there, and I'm like, let's go. So I got both of them, so $30, and turned it into $88. So obviously, you know, shipping, you know, it cost $1 to get the things that I shipped them in. So $2. You know, I think it's like 11 or 12% for eBay. So you're looking at what, another, you know, let's call it $8, $10. Let's call it another 10. So you're in 12. You're in 42 to 40. You're into $45, but you still made 88. So you're still making a $43 profit. So I mean, that's unbelievable. You made a $43 profit. You put in 30. So realistically, you made a $15 profit, which is pretty fire. You know what I mean? I mean, it literally took me all of 10 minutes. So that was a huge one. Next, let's get into the next one. I could talk about that all day. Next one, Nerf. Dude, I didn't know how big Nerf guns were. Really didn't. Picked this one up. This item sold in less than 24 hours. That's why it's crazy. So, and it's missing a piece. So I looked, and with the ammo and the shield, this thing's like $60. Like they had them sold from $45 to $60, and I was like, all right, so I'm missing a couple pieces. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll put it up for $27. I bought it for $7, and it sold, like I said, in less than 24 hours. So that was really awesome. I'll get a bunch of stuffed animals at Goodwill. You get a bag for $5. So realistically, depending on how many you can fit in there, size and all that, let's say you get 20 to 30, right? Let's break this down, right? 5 divided by 30. You know, you're paying 15 to 20 cents a stuffed animal. I put them in boxes, as you can see from this picture, wherever it is on the screen, and I just put like 10 to 15 in them. So like, let's really do the math. Let's say on the high end, we pay 25 cents, times it by 30, $7 minus 30, you made 22, right? And the boxes, those boxes are a little more expensive, obviously fees. You're making $10 on stuffed animals that weren't gonna sell anyway. So these are stuffed animals that aren't like $5, $10, $15 a pop. These are like stuffed animals that you look up and they haven't sold, or it's like $1 or $2, and you put them in a box and you get something out of them instead of having to either redonate them or literally throw them out, which we try to donate as much as possible back. I don't think we've thrown anything out yet that I can remember, but we've donated quite a lot of stuff back. So so that was something that I thought about, and then this lady literally, or this person, I shouldn't say lady, this person literally bought 3 of them, so paid 10, 10, and 10, so we have a couple other boxes that are up. We're working on putting out a Disney one and then a Nickelodeon one, as we've kind of just been collecting the stuffed animals. This Prosperity mug, paid $1 for it, sold for 18. I mean, there's nothing more else to say. I love that Goodwill. The Goodwill I got this at has, I mean, usually, lately they've fallen off, but when I first was going, the best selection of mugs. I mean, I could have gone in there and gotten 3 to 5 mugs that were worth at least $10 any day of the week. And this one was one of them. I looked at it. I was like, that's pretty cool. I said, honestly, in my head, I was like, if this doesn't sell, I'll keep it. And it sold like in a week. And I was like, it's what it is. But I mean, you pay $1. Again, fees, right? You're talking 10%. So you're looking at like $2.25. Let's call it on the high end. $1 for the box to ship it in. Unless they do priority, then it's free because they allow you free boxes. So you're looking at, let's say I paid $4 or $5 for it, still made $13 on it, and it was only one of the things that I got, and I spent like 20, 30 minutes at the store. So the money's there. And then absolutely the absolute biggest buy that I found was this Pokémon plush. Now, again, I talk about those $5 bags. Lady at the store, super clutch. I got a big plush. This thing didn't fit in it, but I just wanted it. It looked cool. It was the last thing I saw. And I put it on top of the bag, not like in the bag because it couldn't fit. And she didn't even charge me for it. So realistically, I got this thing for free. But let's say I paid 25 cents for it. And, again, this one I did need a bigger box. So it was probably like a little over $1 for the package. So let's say 20, let's call it 30 cents plus $1 plus what's 10% of 20. You're looking at like $3. Realistically, if all in all I paid $5 for it, I made a $20 profit on something that basically was given to me. It wasn't even charged for. She could have charged me a full $1 for it, but she was just like, "No, you're good. You could, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're good. Like, you're getting the whole bag anyway." So it was literally one extra one, and it was funny too because it literally was like the last thing I saw because it was kind of crumbled. It was kind of under some other stuff, and I looked at it and it looked like a bug, so I didn't even think of it. And then I started moving some other stuff, and it kind of unraveled itself, and I was like, "The heck is this?" And I looked at it, I'm like, I have no idea about any new Pokemon. Ask me anything about old Pokemon, I could probably tell you 90% of the Pokemon from back in the day. The new ones, I could probably tell you maybe 5. So I looked at it and I was like, what the heck? So I always look at the tag because the tag is going to tell you 10 times more if you don't know anything about it than anything. So I looked at the tag and said Pokemon. I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, I'm putting this in the cart. And luckily, she was cool about it. So, I mean, 25 cents to $25. So the money is out here, man. And honestly, more or less for anything, at first I started this for money, right? It's cool, like it's a side hustle. But now going into it, like there's a lot of nonprofits that are thrift stores. Like a lot of thrift stores are nonprofits that give job help, that give back to the community. So if you're not going there to do eBay, if you're not going there to do Macari or all these other places that you can sell on, and you just want to find really cool stuff, go to thrift stores, man. Support your local community in and around where you live. And you're going to change lives, not even your own. Maybe you start this as a side hustle, right? Like, it's cool. I did this to kind of see what was happening. And then, luckily, God willing, we got into Thrift Talk, and that came about. So now we're kind of dual tasking it. But there's just some really cool stuff out there, man. I mean, dude, I've kept everything you see on this wall behind me. I don't even know if you can see all the way up to the New York sign. That New York sign, I paid $15 for at a thrift store because I'm born and raised in New York. Everything else you see on this wall, except like I think 2 or 3 items, is from a thrift store. Everything. Stitch, got that for 10 cents. The little plush, got that for 10 cents. The Tie Baby, I got for $1. That Woof New York, I got for 50 cents. This one I got for I think 10 cents. Yoda, I also got for that was actually like $2 or $3, but I didn't mind spending that. So. Those Scooby-Doo and Bumblebee were actually in a big pack of toys for 15 that we took a major L on in one of our other videos, but you can go watch that. So all this stuff behind me is at thrift stores. We have a top 1 row of a cup cabinet literally dedicated to mugs that I've gotten at thrift stores. So I'm not selling everything. And trust me, I could have made probably an extra $50 to $100 just selling this stuff. But it's cool, man. Like, that's why I say, like, go out there, support a local nonprofit, support your community, but then also find some cool shit for yourself. Where are you going to find a mug for $1? Where are you going to find a little stuffed animal for 10 cents? So this was another episode of Thrift Talk where we go thrifting and turn it into listings, but more importantly, where we support the local community and we show you some really cool stuff at some local thrift stores. But until next time, y'all already know what to do. Subscribe, follow. Until next time, lift love, crochet, we out.